A dream home and reality. What are the keys to a lasting, happy family? Hello, dear listeners. Perhaps each of us has, at least once, dreamed of a family filled with laughter, mutual sharing, and the joy of togetherness among spouses and children. But the reality of marriage and parenthood is not always as rosy as we imagine. We may find ourselves struggling to resolve conflicts, dealing with stress, and wondering, is there a way to proactively build a beautiful family instead of just focusing on fixing problems as they arise? Today, let's explore the secrets to nurturing a truly fulfilling family life. We'll dive into two core elements that shape a family: the system of meaning and the system of emotions. At the same time, we'll candidly acknowledge that a family isn't always a safe haven if we don't know how to care for it. Most importantly, we'll uncover practical solutions and specific approaches that each of us can take to contribute to building a happy, sustainable family, just as we initially dreamed. How is your family doing? Between dreams and reality, when you decided to step into marriage and welcome your first child, you likely envisioned a family overflowing with love, didn't you? A place where spouses understand each other, children are well behaved and grow up strong, and every member, despite their individual spaces and personalities, gravitates toward one another, offering care, support, joy, pride, and a dependable foundation for each other. But what about reality? Many of us, after tying the knot, face unnamed challenges. It could be a lack of communication between spouses, unresolved disagreements, one partner being overly controlling while the other is too indifferent. Then, when children come along, we find ourselves overwhelmed with parenting methods, hoping to instill discipline and a love for learning in our kids while also teaching them how to be good people. And that's when disillusionment often sets in. You might have exclaimed, "I wanted to build a small, beautiful family of my own." But why does reality feel like a constant battle to resolve stress and conflict? Indeed, there are countless books and resources on resolving family conflicts, from reducing punishments for children to navigating spousal disagreements. But here's something worth pondering. We rarely find guidance or specific strategies for proactively building a beautiful family from the start. Of course, resolving conflicts contributes to a better family dynamic. But why not try a different, more direct approach? Channeling our energy into cultivating positive values instead of waiting for problems to arise before addressing them? What truly matters in a family? Exploring the invisible systems. So, what are the core elements for building a strong family? Family researchers have long viewed families as complex systems made up of people, habits, resources, and countless daily interactions that create a unique rhythm for each household. Within this larger system, two critical subsystems determine the direction a family takes: the system of emotions and the system of meaning. Let's start with the system of emotions. It may sound abstract, but it's actually very relatable. This system is shaped by how we communicate and interact with each other daily within the family. Imagine this: if family members consistently speak to one another with respect, support, and understanding, what would the family atmosphere be like? Surely, it would be joyful, harmonious, and positive, right? And that positive atmosphere, in turn, fosters a sense of comfort and safety, encouraging everyone to engage even more constructively. It's like a beautiful feedback loop. Next is the system of meaning. This refers to the shared beliefs and values that family members hold about what their family stands for and the goals they collectively strive toward. This system grows stronger when a family overcomes challenges together or achieves memorable milestones. Moreover, the system of meaning is often inherited, carrying forward the positive values established by grandparents and parents. Values like a commitment to education, kindness, or mutual care and support. The family system, strange yet familiar. The terms system of emotions and system of meaning might sound a bit academic, don't they? But trust me, they're not foreign to any of us. Think back to when you were preparing for marriage. What were your expectations? Perhaps you hoped for an understanding partner, a cozy home, or healthy children. Your extended family, your parents and their household, likely had traditions and values that you carried into your own family. All of these are part of the system of meaning we just discussed. As you live together, every day brings interactions about all sorts of matters, big things like career goals and future plans, or small things like what to eat for dinner or where to go on the weekend. These interactions, whether joyful or tense, gradually shape your family's system of emotions. What's noteworthy is that we build and reinforce these two systems daily, sometimes intentionally, but often unconsciously or even carelessly. In daily life, we influence the system of emotions somewhat haphazardly. When we're in a good mood, the house feels lively, but there are also times when heated arguments erupt, and everyone tends to blame someone else. At times, we support each other, spouses help with work, parents guide their children through challenges or celebrate their achievements. Those moments unknowingly nurture the system of meaning. Yet, paradoxically, this support often comes with criticism, blame, or arguments about who's right, who's wrong, or who contributed more. What about when we try to be intentional? During holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, or family vacations, we often plan activities to strengthen family bonds. But do these activities truly touch the emotional depths of each family member? Or are they mostly superficial, beautiful photos and delicious meals? Do family members genuinely feel connected? Or is that not always the case? We also try to preserve family traditions, like maintaining the image of a cultured or disciplined family. But sometimes, we only preserve the shell, rigid rituals or rules that make family members feel stifled and eager to break free. The soul, the core values and deeper meaning of those traditions, is often overlooked or left unexplored. In short, in daily life, we tend to act instinctively, rarely with the clear goal of keeping our family's emotional and meaning systems healthy. And when we do try, we often focus on appearances. As a result, we end up tirelessly fixing mistakes, patching things up, hoping to make the family whole again. When a family is no longer a safe haven, a different perspective. We often hear the beautiful saying, "A family is the ultimate safe haven, the most peaceful refuge after life's storms." It sounds warm and desirable, doesn't it? But let's face the truth, not every family is such a haven. Sadly, many young people have contemplated or even attempted suicide due to deep fractures in family relationships, particularly with their parents. Some grew up being physically disciplined for every mistake. Others were forced to pursue their parents' unfulfilled dreams, regardless of their own desires or abilities. Some were left with grandparents from a young age because their parents were consumed by the demands of work. Others grew up in homes where parents constantly argued, criticized each other, and eventually divorced. Heart-wrenching confessions reveal the pain. One young person shared, "The only reason I'm still alive is for my family. But I can't find any meaning in living for myself." Self-harm or even suicide attempts recur, growing more severe for some. In therapy, when asked to draw anything they wanted, some children drew a tiny, huddled tree on a large sheet of paper, surrounded by layers of closed circles. What do these images say about the wounded inner worlds of these children? Research shows that certain parenting styles, overly authoritarian, overly permissive, or involving physical or emotional abuse, can have long-lasting, severe impacts on a child's mental health. Even parents' lack of self-compassion, the ability to love, accept, and forgive themselves, can negatively affect how they interact with their children, which in turn impacts the children's physical and mental well-being. A family, a dynamic phenomenon, in constant motion. The reality is that not every family is a safe haven. Increasingly, young people see returning home as a heavy obligation, and meeting their parents feels like reopening old wounds they've quietly endured for years. From either perspective, parent or child, this situation is harmful to both sides. But how many of us pause to truly understand? A poignant comment from an article about a young person in China who jumped off a bridge after arguing with their mother reads, "Adults were once children. But children have never been adults." This reminds us that adults have the advantage of experience but often forget the vulnerable, tender perspectives of children. Parenting is not just a biological instinct to continue the family line. It's not merely a repetitive habit. And being a child is never an easy journey either. Experts describe a family as a dynamic phenomenon. This means that within a family, there's constant interaction and mutual influence among members. The quality of these interactions determines the quality of family life and directly affects everyone's mental and physical health. It's not just a one-way parent-child relationship. Children also influence parents, and all members impact one another. We must even consider the broader context, including how the family interacts with external societal factors. So, what can we do to truly nurture our family? After exploring the various facets of family life, from beautiful dreams to harsh realities, the most critical question remains: what should we do? How can we consciously and effectively care for our family's system? The answer lies in proactively nurturing both the system of emotions and the system of meaning. To care for the system of emotions, what can we do? First, sit down and truly listen to each other to discover what makes each family member happy. Sometimes, the smallest things bring the greatest joy. Next, discuss how each person can contribute to that shared happiness. Family happiness isn't the responsibility of one person alone, it's a collective effort. Equally important, learn to communicate effectively, interact positively, and contribute constructively to that shared happiness. This may take time and patience, but it's entirely worth it. What about the system of meaning? Take time to share the meaningful milestones each person wants to achieve and identify the shared values the family wants to uphold and develop. Then, explore how the family can support each member in reaching those goals and how those shared values can be reflected in daily life. Finally, strive together, embrace both successes and failures as valuable lessons, and work through challenges to collectively build and reinforce the family's positive values. The key is to do all of this intentionally. This could mean having sincere, formal conversations during special occasions to reflect and set directions. It could involve creating meaningful family traditions that foster connection, and crucially, make these practices a natural part of family life, woven seamlessly into everyday routines. When we have clear intentions, honest and heartfelt exchanges, and specific actions to nurture healthy emotional and meaning systems, I firmly believe you can build and sustain the happy, warm family you once dreamed of. Wishing you success on your journey to nurture your own family haven.